Guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am sharing with you one of my favorite things that I absolutely enjoy doing. I love tinkering around and one of the things that I love to tinker with is things that I find from the thrift store. So today I am going to be sharing with you some of the things that I found and how I changed them to fit my decor. The first bowl I got is this red ball. It feels like cement, but it's not. I'm not sure what it's made out of. I didn't, obviously, the red is not going to work. And I didn't want this string on the side. So I just took a knife and got rid of that. It was super easy to take off. I think it was kind of put on there with glue. I just used my knife and my hands and it came off pretty easily. And the bowl looked like this. Initially, what I wanted to do with this bowl was to kind of make it look like marble. So hence the white spray paint. But you can ignore all of this. I just wanted to show you guys, what this was going to look like. I didn't like it. And I remember that I'd seen the vase from Zara that I liked. So I decided to kind of go with that flow. So I decided to go over it with this feather finish cement. I kind of mix it with water just to give it like a paste, almost like a toothpaste kind of consistency. And I use a brush. So that's how thin it was. I use a brush to kind of go over the whole bowl with it. And for me, because this bowl didn't look so sturdy, I felt like this was also going to help it kind of make it sturdy as well. So I went over it. I think I went over it just with one coat. I didn't go over it twice. I just went over it with one coat. Then I used a sponge to kind of get rid of all the brush marks and also at the same time trying to create like a texture to the bowl. You will see why I'm doing this. I wanted to create a texture because I want to layer paint on it, and I feel like with that texture you will see the layers of the paint quite easily. So then I took it outside and sanded it. I'm just using I can't remember what grit this was, probably about 80 grit, something I had at home, and I just spray painted, sanded it. I'm using this paint that I picked up from Hobby Lobby. I'll link it below. You can find something similar. It's got like a brownish, like a chocolate brown kind of undertone. That's what I would describe it. Then I went over that with the brown, as you can see, and then went over it again with like a creamish color. But I'm also making sure that I keep as much of that brown uncovered with the cream as I can. That's how I'm layering my colors. And I went over it with a little bit of gray, just to bring some coolness to it, because it's looking very, very like warmish and dark and stuff. So I went over it with a little bit of gray, and then I mixed in a little bit of the black and the brown, and then put the brown on its own and the black on its own. And I'm just kind of going over it because I had a picture in my mind, which I will put here so you can see of what I wanted to kind of create, and it went on really, really nicely. I covered it with the brown, the black, and the brown and black mixed together, and once that was dry it looked like this. I took it outside again and I used some clear spray paint all over it, and then I covered it with baking powder, and just because I wanted to kind of, this is my way of distressing, but I wanted it more white, not brown. So I went over it with some baking powder. I did it on the front and the back, and then once I was done I sealed it all, and this is what it looks like. I am so in love with this bowl. It looks nothing like it was when I got it, obviously, and I love that I ditched the marble effect type of situation and went with this. It looks so beautiful.
Watching it end again and again. I feel it in waves, you follow me, drift into places I should leave, so close to the edge of something so perfect. We were too scared to take.
This is what the finished product looked like. I know I've already showed you how I styled it, but I wanted to really bring it here so you guys can see up close how beautiful this looks. There's something that is on Zara Homes at the moment that looks very similar to this. It doesn't have the handles, obviously. The one from Zara Home is just round, but I love this. I think the handles make it really good, beautiful. You can use this in any type of home and it will make sense just depending on how you style it. It will fit in a traditional space. It will fit farmhouse. Nobody's doing that anymore. Like, well, modern farmhouse, I would say. and it fits really nice in my space. And I love the organic feel of it too, and the texture that it brings with the different variations of colors in here. I will link in the description bar below all the colors that I use to achieve this, just so that if you wanted to do the same, just follow the steps. I hope I made it really simple for you. My next item that I picked up from the thrift store is a canvas. I absolutely love making artwork. It's just one of the things that I find that just keeps my spirit clean. And I wanted to create something that I didn't have to use too much materials for. So these are things that you will have if you order things, which we all do. You will have these things in your home. Okay, so this is the canvas that I am using. And I really just wanted to, I had it at home. It'd been home for ages and I hadn't done anything with it. So I just went over it like I do with every canvas that I buy. I go over it with white paint. Is always the first step of everything that I do. Because to me, then it gives me a blank canvas to kind of play with. But I knew that I wanted to keep this white. That was the idea for this. I wanted to keep it white. Okay, so these are the, you know, when you buy things and they styrofoam that they put to the side to kind of make it sturdy so that it doesn't move around and break. That I've just been collecting. I know I'm a hoarder. I'm not actually. I love this type of stuff. So I kind of had enough now that I kind of created a pattern that I absolutely love, and I love the way it flows on here. But because my eyes don't see straight, I don't know whether that's a condition, but I can't see things straight. So I kind of made sure, my daughter actually helped me to kind of make sure that it all sat the way I wanted it to. And then I used a pencil and kind of went over the outline. But if you have better eyes than me, you can just eyeball this and just put it down wherever you feel the need to put it down, or with your shape, how you decide to go about that. And then once I was done, I used a wood glue, not wood glue, what am I talking about? Hot glue. And I just got all the pieces into the places that I wanted them to be. And I would just, maybe you won't notice this, but I'll tell you anyway, I got one out of the box. Like I said, my eyes don't see straight. Okay, so then the first thing that I decided to do, because I haven't used these before, but I didn't want to really like texture this because it already had enough with the styrofoam up top. I just used paint and baking powder initially, just to see how that will come out. And I like that on the canvas, but not so much on the styrofoam once I was done. Because as you can see, the styrofoam kind of soaks in the paint and you can still see the texture. The texture is nice, but I don't know. I just wasn't feeling it. It just wasn't giving me what I had in my brain. So this was not how I wanted it. So the next thing I did was that I mixed some paint. Now I added in some sparkle. And I just went into my paint with that, mix it really thoroughly, and then added a little bit of wood glue, a little bit of glue. Just this is just craft glue, just because I feel like when you add this to your sparkle, it doesn't crack. So I did that and I went over all of it, and I actually love how the texture came out after this. I was super happy with it once it was all done.
Watching it end again and again. I feel it in waves, you follow me, drifting to places I should leave, so close to the end.
Okay, the sound you can hear is the rain. I was just gonna paint this white. I'm in the car, so the lighting is terribly poor. I was going to paint this white and leave it just like this, but as you can see at the bottom here, it is so evident. Can you see like right over here? That it comes up with this. I don't know what this is. But I've sprayed this with a sealant and then went over it again with white, but it's still coming through. So I decided that I'm just gonna go a different type of monotone. I'm using this paint that I have at home, and I'm just gonna go over it. And I have also painted so this is the color. So I have also painted the frames that I'm gonna use on the sides, the same color. So I'm just gonna do this color and then just keep it monotone. I was so sad painting this color. I love this color already, but I really just wanted it to be white. But obviously with that stain at the bottom, I couldn't keep it that way because, yeah, it wasn't going to work. But this turned out really, really beautifully after I had given it, I think I painted it 2 coats, because you paint and then you put it up and then you can still see things. And this is what it looks like after it was done. Absolutely love how it turned out. I kind of playing on tone on here, the way I styled it. But this can sit nice on anything else because it's so neutral, any color cabinet, or you can hang it on a wall and it will look really beautiful.
Watching it end again and again. I feel it in waves, you follow me, drift into places I should leave.
So the next fun thing that I wanted to share are books. I know a lot of people go to the thrift store and they buy books. I do that all the time. This book I got from the thrift store, and I just took the sleeve off, and this is the color of the book. It looks really beautiful, and you can find books like this at the thrift store. And the beauty of this also is that it is all about interior design, which helps, and I really love this book. However, it doesn't mean that this is where you limit yourself. So you can actually buy books that are the size of what you want and then change them to be what you want them to be. I've shared this in my channel before. I shared when I made these ones that I covered with wallpaper, the grass cloth wallpaper, and I have also made some with black contact paper that I use all over the house. I absolutely love these. If you live in England, this is super easy to make. Just go to B&Q and get some sample wallpapers, and you can cover as many books as you want to. They don't do sample papers here, which is not very nice, but they don't. Anyway, so that's that. Then the other way that I do it is what I'm about to show you. So I am going to be using a magazine to cover my books, just to make them look really high end. I love to research online. I don't like opening a book and reading, so which is the reason why for me buying books is not really a thing that I would love to do, but I still want that feel of them in my space. So here is what I did. Okay, so I am always thinking about ways to kind of use things that I have at home. I love DIYing. I love just creating things. And this is one of the things that I love to do. So it's a magazine, a book, and some glue stick. It's so easy. If you can wrap a present, you can do this. Like, it is super easy to do. Take your time. What I did initially was that I put the book into the paper, made sure that I was happy with where I wanted to place it, and then I kind of just crease it so that I had a line as to a guide to where I was going with it. And I would do the base first, so the spine of the book, and then once the spine is done, to me that holds the book and the magazine paper together. I would do the same thing if I was using contact paper or grass cloth like I showed you guys before, and then I just went over it with the glue again, made sure that I covered the surface that I know the excess paper was going to cover, and then pressed that down and just moved on like that. But it is such an easy process to do, and the impact is insane. I'd never covered book with a magazine before, but this was, I don't know, the idea just came to me, and I thought, let's just try it and see what it looks like. We use books most of the time just as for decorative purposes, to be honest. And if I do my research, like I said, I do it online. I don't need to do it here. So this was, for me, was a good way to get really nice, beautiful books, but on very inexpensive budget. So I'm just cutting the sides on the spine and on the edges of the book as well, just to make sure that I get a really clean fold. And what I would do with the edges of the spine is that I will crease it in again and then cut off the excess before I add the glue. It is, like I said, super easy to do. As you can see, this really doesn't need that much instructions, to be honest, but I'm really putting this here for inspiration, so that you can use this to make your bookcases, your coffee tables, all the places that you use books to decorate, to make it look absolutely beautiful. I absolutely love how it turned out. Like I keep saying, that the after effect is just absolutely gorgeous, and this is what they look like. I created out of that magazine, I think I created about 8 books, and the books cost me what, $2 and change each. So for 8 books I probably got, and some of the books I already had at home, so you could spend $10 and get, like, good God, about 10 books. It's so easy to make, or 5 books. It's so easy to make, and I love the way it looks.
again. I feel it in waves, you follow me, drift into places I should leave.
This is the beautiful book that we just covered. As you can see, this is a magazine that I got, and can you see how beautiful this looks? And I absolutely love how it turned out. I've shown you guys how I styled some of them. They are so beautiful. Look at that. Even if you stack them up like this, it looks really beautiful. My favorite one of all the ones that we did is this one here. Okay, look at that. See how gorgeous that is. As a bonus, I decided to add this nice, beautiful, like a tray with on a stand. I absolutely love this. I also picked it up from the thrift store. I think it was about $2. I love the look of it, but obviously it's not the color that I would like. And yeah, and this is my favorite metallic gold spray paint. I just went over it 2 coats of spray, and I absolutely love the impact of it. When I see something in the store and I tell my kids that I really like it but I don't like the color, they always say, "We'll take it home and spray it," because they know I use it so much. I use so much spray paint. But this is what it looks like after it was done. I absolutely love this. I'm constantly looking for things to style shelves on my coffee table, and I think this was a really good find. $2. Look at it. So beautiful. Thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate you stopping by. If you are new, please subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And I will see you in the next one, guys. Bye.